sort of chaps hae you for a crew?"
"The very pick," said Parahandy, as they came alongside the Vital Spark, whose crew, as a matter of fact, were all on deck to see the new hand. "That's MacPhail, the chief engineer, one of Britain's hardy sons, with the wan Gallus. And the other chap's Dougie, the first mate, a Cowell lad. You'll see him plainer after his face is washed for tea. Then there's me mysel, the captain. Lads, this is Colin's cousin, Sonny Jim."
Sonny Jim stood on the edge of the quay and smiled like a sunset on his future shipmates.
"Who are yez, chaps?" he cried genially, waving his hand.
"We canna complain," said Dougie solemnly.
"Are ye in good trim yoursel? Seize a grip of your hold all and excuse the gangway."
Sonny Jim jumped on board, throwing his dunnage bag before him, and his feet had no sooner touched the deck than he indulged in a step or two of the sailor's hornpipe, with that proficiency which only years of practice in a close mouth in Crown Street, south side of Glasgow, could confer. The captain looked a little embarrassed. Such conduct was hardly businesslike. But it was a relief to find that the Tar's nominee and successor was a cheery chap at any rate. Dougie looked on with no disapproval, but MacPhail grunted and turned his gaze to sea, disgusted at such free and easy informality.
"I hope you can cook as well as you can dance," he remarked coldly.
Sonny Jim stopped immediately. "Am I supposed to cook?" he asked, concealing his surprise as he best could.
"You are that," said MacPhail. "Did you think you were to be the German band on board and go round lifting pennies? Cooking's the main thing with the second mate of the Vital Spark, and I can tell you we're gey particular. Are we no, Dougie?"
"Awful," said Dougie sadly. "MacPhail here has been cooking since the Tar left. He'll gie you his receipt for haddies made with engine oil."
The Vital Spark cast off from Rothsay Quay on her way for bowling, and Sonny Jim was introduced to several pounds of sausages to be fried for dinner, a bag of potatoes, and a jar of salt, with which he was left to juggle as he could, while the others, with expectant appetites, performed their respective duties. Life on the open sea, he found, was likely to be as humdrum as it used to be on the Cluthers, and he determined to initiate a little harmless gaiety. With some difficulty he extracted all the meat from the uncooked sausages and substituted salt. Then he put them on the frying pan. They had no sooner heated than they began to dance in the pan with curious little crackling explosions. He started playing his melodeon and cried on the crew, who hurried to see this unusual phenomenon.
"Well, I'm jiggered," said the captain. "What in all the world is the matter with him?"
"It's a warning," said Dougie lugubriously, with wide staring eyes.
"Warning my auntie," said Sonny Jim, playing a jig tune. "They started jumping like that whenever I be good to play my bonny wee melodeon."
"Aye, I dare say that," said Parahandy, "for you're a fine player, Jim. But it wasn't any invitation to a ball I gave them when I played for them in Rossa."
"I said sausages weren't mate for sailors," remarked the engineer with bitterness, for he was very hungry.
"You'll notice it's an Irish jig they're dancing to," he added with dark significance. "I don't see myself," said the captain, "that it matters whether it's an Irish jig or the Gourock waltz and Circassian circle." "Does it no?" retorted MacPhail. "I suppose you'll never hae heard of Irish terrier dugs. I've ate my last sausage onyway. Sling us o'er that pan loaf."
And seizing the bread for himself, he proceeded to make a Spartan meal. Sonny Jim laughed till the tears ran down his jovial countenance.
"Chaps," he exclaimed with firm conviction, "this is the cheeriest ship ever I was on. I'm awful glad to bring my music."
Dougie took a fork and gingerly investigated.
"As hard as whinstanes," he proclaimed. "They'll no be ready by the time we're at the tail of the bank. Did ye ever in your mortal life see the like of it?" And he jabbed ferociously with a fork at the bewitched sausages.
"That's right," said MacPhail. "Put them out of pain."
"Stop you," said Parahandy. "Let us pause and consider. It is the first time ever I saw sausages with such a desperate fine ear for music. If they'll no fry, they'll maybe boil. Put them in a pot, Jim."
"Right-o," said Sonny Jim, delighted.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.